Welcome to the Geeks Attic. This is the 2020 Halloween horror novel review of The Remaking. The Remaking is a horror novel written by Clay McLeod Chapman and published by Quirk Books. Thank you for sending out this copy for me to review. Now, this is a 2019 Goodreads Choice Awards semifinalist, so that's pretty cool. Now, we're going to get into the summary, spoiler-free. Not going to dive into all the spoiler stuff, so we're safe. Only the trees know the true tale of Mother Ella Louise and her daughter Jessica Ford, alleged witches. On October 16, 1931, Ella and Jessica were burned alive in the woods of Pilots Creek, Virginia. Now, what was left of the bodies were buried separate from each other. The mother, Ella Louise, no marked grave, but her daughter Jessica Ford, well, she's buried in the cemetery of Pilots Creek. Now, the story of Ella and Jessica is passed on through ghost stories. That is until 1971, when the story was adapted into a film, Don't Tread on Jessica's Grave. Amber Pendleton, a young girl, tries out for the role of Jessica Ford, and she does get the part. Goes up against other girls that look like her, but she is victorious. She gets to be in the movie. Now, the film is made, but not without trouble. A supernatural event happens on set, pushing the film immediately into cult status. Amber Pendleton's life will never be the same. Decades go by. It's now 1995, and Amber Pendleton's acting career is dead. All she does now is make the rounds at all the horror conventions, signing her autograph, taking photos with the fans that she can't stand. All she is to them is little Jessica Ford, the witch girl. But she needs the money, so she'll sign the autographs, she'll take the photos, but she'll also have a little help from some pills and some alcohol. Well, one day, her agent calls up and says, hey, there's a movie for you. The director's asking for you by name, specifically wants you for this role. It's I Know What You Did on Jessica's Grave, a remake of Don't Tread on Jessica's Grave. Only this time, Amber Pendleton is to play Ella Louise Ford, the mother of little Jessica Ford. It takes a little convincing to get Amber on board with the film, but she takes the role, and then, yet again, production is hit hard with a tragic event that just spirals things out of control, and we move on to a different decade. It's now 2016, and it's still unclear what's happened with Amber Pendleton's past, and a podcaster wants to get to the roots of it and find out exactly what's going on. What is Amber's perspective on all of the events that happened while she was on set for a movie based on the Ford witches? Is Amber Pendleton crazy? Did Ella Louise come back from the dead? Is Amber Pendleton a murderer? So to learn the truth, you're going to have to read The Remaking. Right, so now let's talk about characters. For this book, I'm just going to pick one, and that would be the lead character, Amber Pendleton. She's had a rough life. Her mother pushed so hard when she was a child to become a child actress, and when Amber got her first role, her mother was very happy, while Amber was just kind of scared and nervous the whole time. The event that took place during the film left her scarred for life, like emotionally and mentally. She absolutely hated the convention life, but she did it anyway. She needed the money. It was a job. But overall, her life turns out to be really sad. It's a tragedy. She's on drugs. She's an alcoholic. Her life just became miserable. Her life was sad from the very beginning, being forced into a career that she did not want to do, and then leading into the convention life, which she did not want to do, then back into the movies, where another big tragedy happened, and it just left her even more emotionally and mentally scarred. Her life was a tragedy. She just felt that it was her destiny to just channel the little witch girl, Jessica Ford, and she could not be her own person. She was pushed hard as a child to be Jessica, and then when she was an older lady working in the conventions, everybody would come up to her and be like, oh, look, it's Jessica. She didn't like it. She was not her own person. And that's sad. All right, my overall thoughts. I really enjoyed this book. The author takes a really unique approach at writing this story. Now, this novel is basically a story about a story, remaking a story based on an origin story, followed up by a new type of storytelling. A story about a story, remaking a story based on an origin story, followed up by a new type of storytelling. sounds complicated, but it's not. If you read the book, you're going to understand what's going on 100%, no problems whatsoever. It's going to make perfect sense. There is an audiobook available as well. I haven't had a chance to listen to that. So if you want to listen to audio rather than read a book, that's available. So I did not find the story scary. But then again, I've never read a book that like scared me. I've never read a book, put it down, and like kept looking over my shoulder. I'm like, ooh, I can't go outside because I'm scared. No, but it does have all the elements that a horror story should have. It did have some creepy moments that were like, ooh, that's creepy, but nothing, like I said, that was like, oh, I've got to have a nightlight on. Just me. But I'm terrified of bugs, so I'm not saying I'm not scared of anything. Anyway, Clay Chapman did a wonderful job with the story structure. Fantastic. Now for the little negative criticism that I do have. The writing style was not my favorite. The way some things were written, I just kind of got annoyed with. Some elements really felt rushed. Some moments lacked detail, while others gave excellent detail. He does a great job with some details. I'm not quite sure how to really explain this next part, but I'm going to try. Some of the writing felt like the author was in that mode of I'm writing, so I'm just going to throw out what's coming to mind and just keep going. I'm going to write the stutters going on in my brain. I'm going to leave the hesitation that's going on in there. It's different. I've never read anything like that, so it kind of threw me off when I was reading it. I'm like, I don't like this style. Now, I didn't copy anything from the book. I'm just making up my own example of what I'm trying to talk about. Okay, so, for example, I'm writing so fast, thoughts are just coming to my brain. My brain hurts. If I slow down, the writing will stop and I'll be so far behind on my schedule. Schedule. I think about the schedule so much, my brain hurts. But that's only my real major issue with the book, was just the writing style. I know other people are going to love it. Not me. But, overall, Chapman does an excellent job with the story structure. It's a really unique way to tell a story. I like that. Never experienced anything like that. I love how it evolves over time, not with just the storytellers, but the way that the story is being told. It's more than a horror, it's a tragedy. So do I recommend that you pick up and read The Remaking by Clay McLeod Chapman? The answer is yes. Very unique book. I like the structure. Very cool. Don't think I've ever seen a book structured like that before. I could be wrong. I might have read something like that, but it doesn't come to mind. Very unique. Guys, I give this book a B+. If you would like to purchase this book or the audiobook, I'm going to provide a link down in the description box below. Check that out. Click those links. It helps me out a little bit. Guys, you can find me at thegeeksaddict.com and across all social media at thegeeksaddict. Have a good one.